Happy first day of spring, my friends, as it is Thursday, March 20th when this video is coming out. I am sharing what spring looks like for myself and my family in the upper Midwest. There's beauty to be had in all of it, and different tasks and jobs and fun that occurs in my home. So springtime for me brings about extra cleaning, as I truly enjoy the task of spring cleaning. I have a blog post from the past that I shared with some spring cleaning. I think I did a fall cleaning too. They're very similar, honestly. So if it's fall or if it's spring, I basically do the same thing, but really just do more of a detailed cleaning of my home. Get all the dust and cobwebs off the curtains and the blinds, the upper parts. I dust my blinds weekly, but the curtains I don't take down other than about every 6 months. So we don't have curtains in every area of our home, mainly just the bedrooms. I decided not to do curtains in my living space as I really love the openness and the trim around the windows. So it's something up for debate in my home and in my mind. But for now, curtains are limited to just a few areas in my house. And of course, my little helpers, they're always with me wherever I go, especially when it comes to doing something fun, like standing on a bed and dusting the ceiling fan. Then it's also time to move furniture. Spring cleaning is a good time to do that. Taking things away from walls. Yeah, that's just my clothes drying in our bedroom, as we live in a 950 square foot home. So hanging clothes requires just being versatile. So in the bedroom it goes. Moving chairs, wiping the floors, wiping the walls. You'd be shocked at how disgusting the trim gets behind furniture and the flooring where you don't move furniture. So get those furniture pieces moved. Ask for help if you need it, if they're bigger, because I'm moving my bed here. And it was a fun little task, but bigger pieces I will ask my husband to move. So behind the bed was disgusting, and you will see the end result. And yes, my little boy did end up pulling my socks off my feet while I was cleaning. So there's always something fun going on while I did get some housework done. Well, while the curtains are being laundered, I did under the bed and just tidying up a little bit as well. Tidying, of course, is an everyday occurrence. The deep clean is more seasonal. Time to enjoy some more of my coffee. So my husband is the coffee maker in the morning for us. He makes my Americano and he makes himself a raw milk latte, but I added some raw cream to. And I am now sharing a spring kind of inspired recipe. It is a sourdough discard blueberry bread. And blueberries in the Midwest don't typically really come about till end of May and June. But, berries seem kind of Eastery and spring-like. So this recipe will be over on my blog, daviekillian.com. I really enjoyed creating this recipe. My family loves sweetbreads, especially one of my girls. She could eat that for every snack and every breakfast, but I do limit how much she gets. I do like this bread because it is so moist with that milk that is in there and the sourdough discard, so it's got some health benefits. It's sweetened with maple syrup, so no refined sugars. The only cane sugar I have in there is the sugar that I douse the blueberries with so that the blue of the blueberry doesn't bleed into the rest of the bread. But it is such a delicious bread, especially warm, then with some butter melted on top. It is just a delicious snack, especially with coffee or a good breakfast as well. So check that out on the blog, daviekillian.com. And yes, I do taste as I go. Thankfully, this one is just staying in our home, but I feel like I have to taste things for sure as I cook and as I bake. Now it's time to do a little more nitty-gritty cleaning again to continue in the spring cleaning mode. So I take my table apart every so often to get what grime and gunk gets built up in the cracks of the extra leaf that is in the table. This is something that I always see and it bugs me, but I just have to take the 30 minutes, and maybe not even 20 minutes it requires to clean it. My kiddos do Play-Doh on the table. Food, of course, gets stuck in there. Whatever else gets spilled. Even adults, of course, we spill and drop things. And so it just gets stuck and gritty in there. And I don't want that on my table. And so having a quarterly or even biannually cleaning of the table in the cracks is really important for me. So that's what I'm taking care of, and it's just very satisfying to get all that gunk, Play-Doh, food, whatever else is there out of those cracks and get it clean and reset the table. After the wet and the wind and the snow we've had, these sliding glass doors get really gunky and grime gets built up. And we've had the door open when it's been warmer, so I can't complain about that, but I definitely need to clean the crease, I don't know what you'd call it, the frame of the door, because it just is not opening well. And as I cleaned it out, it was even just mud coming out. So I knew it definitely needed to be wiped out so that my door could slide open and closed much better. Of course, Maggie had to come check out what I was doing, excited to see someone looking out at her. So cleaning continues in the spring season. Since it felt so spring-like, I wanted to change up my decaf latte to a matcha latte, and I make these every so often, but I just use an organic matcha powder that I found on Amazon, still use our raw milk, and put a little stevia drop of vanilla cream into it, and it is just a delicious matcha latte. You can find some of the items that I mentioned in my store on Amazon. Then, of course, outside time. That is the beauty of spring. We can be outside for hours and hours. And today was a little bit chilly. As you can see, we still had our winter coats on, but one of them did not. It's still nice enough to be out for many hours in the afternoon. A new day. And the new day, when you live in the Midwest, upper Midwest, brings snow still. So spring or March is definitely that way, where it can be 70 one day and a day later you get 2 to 4 inches and 30-degree temps. So inside cleaning again and again, like I said, moving some of that furniture. So I moved the coffee table, moved some of the chairs off the rug and the couch off the rug in our living space, and just work on really cleaning this rug, getting it straightened out, because it is on top of carpet, so then that's something, it gets bunched up in a few areas and just needs to be flattened back out. And the kids love the vacuum. They think that it's going to chase them and get them. So it's always just kind of a fun little activity for them. And then they love playing in that really big open area on the rug after I've cleaned. So things don't get set back perfectly right after I'm done cleaning. It might take hours to do. But that's okay. The task is still getting done. The kids are still enjoying it. And especially since there was snow all over the ground and it was colder, they needed something extra to do inside. So this was something fun that they could do as well. So there are other spring cleaning things that can take place. I do clean some more of the couch and the cushions. If it's nicer out, I will air out my cushions and set them on like a tarp or cardboard outside just to get that sunlight and get that musty smell that seems to occur on furniture, no matter if you have new furniture or old furniture. And our furniture is well loved and used. I've said this before, The love seat and the couch were $100 for the set. Then we got them 8 years ago, and they were with a previous owner 8 years before that. So used furniture is great for a home with little kids anyways. But I'm resetting the furniture. Kids are playing on the cushions and building whatever towers they want, moving the coffee table back and getting a few things set back into place. If you don't have rug tape for your rugs and they're a tripping hazard, I definitely recommend double-sided rug tape. It works on hardwood, it works on laminate, and it works carpet to rug. So I did put some down on my edges where higher traffic is. We host Bible study in our home once a week, and so people are coming in and out often, and I don't want them to trip. Kids have tripped on it before too, so I thought, why didn't I do this before? Just take time to put the rug tape down. And then our carpet is old, coming apart a little bit, so I cut some of those strings off. Something new for springtime, I found these lovely vintage floral pillow covers on Amazon, and they are on my blog, Affordable Spring Decor, over on daviekillian.com. They were like $16 for the pair, and I think they're just so lovely. I love blues and greens for spring, so a nice addition to my spring decor. It did warm up a bit, so outside we go before the snow actually starts melting. So here is my living room, all set for spring. Some tulips, some fluffed pillows, the furniture put back, some other faux flowers, and it just is lovely. This recipe is another berry-inspired recipe. It wouldn't have to be, but it is a classic cheesecake with a shortbread crust. So the recipe will be in the description box for you, not one of my own, but I didn't want to use graham crackers as I didn't want to take the time to make them, and I didn't have any on hand, and I just thought, why not make a shortbread crust, because there's a lot less ingredients and I have them, and it's probably a little bit better for you than having store-bought graham crackers. Anyways, we brought it to a friend's house that evening. They had no idea that it wasn't even graham crackers. They enjoyed it, and it was so delicious. But a beautiful cheesecake, and definitely the homemade cheesecake is the way to go. It does take quite a few eggs and a lot of cream cheese, 5 bricks of cream cheese, but it is such a decadent, fun, sweet treat to enjoy and especially share with loved ones. So I'll share that recipe, like I said, in the description box, along with the blueberry sauce that you will see me make later on. Well, while you watch me make some more of this cheesecake, let's just talk a little bit about my favorite parts of spring and just the beauty of it. It is wonderful to see the tulips popping out of the ground and the buds coming on the trees, little blades of grass that are turning green, the time we get to spend outside with longer daylight hours. It's truly just a beautiful time, and each season really is, but it's just amazing to see God's handiwork in spring, because it goes from just kind of dreary, brown, desolate land to a vibrant green in just a month or so. And it's just beautiful and amazing how God created such unique things in all of the seasons and with new life in spring. So as you can see, like I said, the tulips are slightly coming up out of the ground for me. The trees have a little bit of green on them. And so on another day, I get to plant some seeds. So I will be planting tomato seeds and pepper seeds, snapdragons, one more flower seed, possibly cabbage and broccoli, and that is all, because I do like to sow directly into the ground with all my other produce. This produce just needs extra time, obviously, to grow. And sometimes I'll order from Azure Standard and get their tomatoes because they're already grown, or their pepper plants. But I do like to just watch that new life of a seedling pop out of the ground, and then just the vibrant sun in the late afternoon. So I hope you enjoyed just seeing what spring is like for me, early spring, for myself and my family. Have a blessed and wonderful day.